Hello, Bread of Life Church. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe in the pandemic. It's crazy that we're going on month 7 now of being in quarantine and living through this pandemic. So I hope that you all are staying safe and the Lord is keeping you all well. Wanted to just send you a quick update about what God's doing on campus with InterVarsity. So as you know, this is definitely not the typical fall season we're used to. All of our ministry has moved to being online, as I think I updated you in March that was the case. But usually our new student outreach period in the fall is all about hosting events and free food and in-person social events and hanging out. So that's basically changed to meeting together online over Zoom and figuring out how do we do ministry as it looks different. What does it look like to build relationships in a meaningful way, even though it's all virtual? So UCLA actually just started. We're only in week 1 of school, but I recently finished that new student outreach period with Santa Monica College this past weekend, which all led to an online fall conference that we held for students. So for one of the ways that we're seeing outreach happen is actually through Instagram. That's actually one of the primary ways we reach students now, is how do we get into conversations with students who are coming into our campuses, both SMC and UCLA. How do we let them know about our community and what we're doing? So that's been pretty interesting, and a new adventure of just learning how to build relationships and reach out through Instagram. One of the cool things that's happened is for Santa Monica College, actually, we've seen new students get involved through this way of reaching out and come to Bible study that we have over Zoom just midweek. And one cool story was there's this new student who she missed our first Bible study of the school year, but she actually messaged us on Instagram and asked, like, hey, I wasn't able to make it to the first Bible study, but I would love to get the passage so that I can study it myself for next time and be prepared for the next study. And I just thought that was so sweet, just the ways that students are taking initiative and wanting to be involved in community, even though it looks different. This past weekend, we actually led a fall conference, which is like a student conference for over 200 students all over Greater Los Angeles. And Santa Monica College was one of the schools that went. And so we had 7 students sign up, and I was co-leading a track with some other staff on learning how to hear God's voice. And it was such a wonderful time because I love that it was about teaching students that you were created to be in a relationship with God. You were created to hear his voice, and we want to teach you how you can do that. And one student, we had this activity where they got to listen for other students, and they didn't know who they were doing listening prayer for. This student gave a testimony of, wow, like I've never met this student in my life, but everything they said was so spot on with what I needed to hear and what I was going through. And so it's just a beautiful picture of the ways that God just longs to speak with us and be in relationship with us. And so that's definitely been a highlight so far in this season. We have a second fall conference weekend happening October 23rd through 24th. So I'd love for you guys to just pray for that. And we already have 42 UCLA students signed up, but praying and asking for more to register and come to the weekend, which there'll be 4 different tracks that students can choose from and participate in. On a personal note, I'm doing well, still transitioning to everything being online, but would love to have your prayers that God would continue to help me just pace myself with online ministry and practice good spiritual rhythms to take care of my own soul as I minister to others. But I'm praying for you all as a church body and can't wait to be in person with you guys again. And I'm just so thankful for your support, and I'll be praying for you all. Thanks again.